By December 14th, we emerged as the overall winners. We won 25 millions. When we got the money, Battle for Cash money, the 25 millions, we invested 7 millions of that money into the issue of sesame mobilization from the farmers to the stores and the transportation of that simsim from the field stores to the Kampala store, whereby from that Kampala store it is exported. Then the balance of 18 millions remained. From that kind of business, we expect 28 millions in returns as a commission. We were giving each member in our group 2 hoses. The hoses were given to increase so that the farmers can try to increase on their production. You know, some were claiming they don't have hose. We are the people producing, we are the people marketing, and we are the people exporting. In the first 3 years, if we can achieve that, that will be great. In the next 2 years, after the 3 years, if we can achieve or have that muscle to purchase, to like put up a processing plant, that will be great for Genebel. Thanks very much to Dfcu, thanks very much to NTVP WC for giving us this opportunity to participate in the Battle for Cash competition. It was really an eye-opener based on the activities and we did during the Battle for Cash competition, the trainings we received from PwC. Really it was an eye-opener that people, we sit back there in the villages and there are so many opportunities of making money when even you don't have money. Really, making money without money was one of its kind. An idea that really, it was very hard to imagine. It was what we are doing this side, because we have a partner who gives us money and we buy on behalf, then get commission. But it did not cross into my mind that the association is making money without money.
From the north, we traveled east to Soroti, whose skyline is towered by the magnificent Soroti Rock. Our stop in this vibrant town is the Soroti Women's Cooperative Union Limited. Margaret pitched the idea of residential rentals.
Soroti Women Cooperative Union is a group that was started by the grassroots women that didn't have any hope. We started it basically because we were very poor. Each time we even tried to go and get a loan from the bank, they would always ask us collateral, and we didn't have anything. Battle for Cash, we pitched the real estate. So this is the foundation I'm seated on. That is where we put our money to start off the foundation for our real estate. By the time I went into competition, we had just a plot. And we had only pulled the water, the piped water you can see on the background. There was nothing much done. But when we went into that competition, which I represented the Soroti Women Cooperative Union, we actually won a prize of 7.5 million. From that 7.5 million, we added another 7 million. Actually here, as you see us here, this foundation here has cost us 14 million. During the Battle for Cash, what I learned is that for you to be in a business, you should be a very strong competitor. Because the world is flooded with competitors, whichever business you do. And if you don't work hard, other competitors can outcompete you. For Dfcu, I have only this to say. You have made us proud. You have taken us to places where we wouldn't have dreamt of being. And you have opened our eyes. If it was not for Dfcu and for NTV, even for covering us and making the world look at us and see what we have done as those rural women whom the world used to despise. Now we have also come up, we have been seen, we have been on aeroplanes. Can you imagine that? So we are very proud of you, Dfcu. Thanks for your work. Continue doing it. Continue looking into other communities. I know out there are women who are also struggling like us, but nobody has seen them.
So ladies and gentlemen, these are just some of the few stories that speak of the change that we're actually making in the communities. Now, these particular clubs have had a platform to be able to tell their stories. There are other clubs that have not necessarily had the platform, and this is why NTV, PwC, and Dfcu Bank have decided we want to do this again. We want to get more clubs organized. We want to get more clubs doing more things for themselves and for their communities. And at this point in time, I'd like to invite our manager, investment clubs, Miranda Bagaine Musoke, to take us through what we're going to do this year and what has changed.
Morning. Thanks, Rukshana, for that background and the introduction. Like she said, I manage investment clubs for Dfcu. I'm very privileged to have that role. And my presentation is basically about what the competition is and what has changed from last year. I think we are being reminded because most of us actually watched and were following this last year. Okay, so what we are doing, as Rukshana said, the campaign is, the main purpose is to drive a savings culture amongst Ugandans. The participating clubs will be able to pitch their business plans to a panel of judges. I think we have some of the judges in the room today. And the judges, together with the audience, will select the winning clubs at the end of the challenge. So the campaign is a competition. It will be run as a weekly show, and the name of the show remains Battle for Cash. So what we'll do, we are going to split this into two phases. Phase one will be the call for entries, where investment clubs will submit their business plans. The bank has provided a form, an entry form, that will be online and will also be in our branches. So the clubs that would like to participate will fill out this form and submit this to the bank. And phase two will be the TV show, where the plans will be evaluated and 20 clubs will be selected by our partners, PwC, and these clubs will be selected to take part in the challenge. So how it will work, clubs will submit their business plans through an entry form, like I already said. The forms will be reviewed and narrowed down to 20 clubs, the top 20 clubs. And these clubs will be given tasks, preset tasks that they will have to accomplish and present to the panel of judges. The panel will choose which clubs go through to the next level, and this will keep going on until we get to the top 7 clubs. So we'll have a grand finale show, which will be aired on NTV, and that's where the winners will be unveiled. So the process for entry submission, we have an email address where the soft copies will be emailed. We'll also be receiving these forms in our branches. And then after that, our partners, PwC, will receive entries and will evaluate the applications. And after that, the top 20 clubs will be selected, and these are the clubs that will go in for the show, for the TV show. This is our prize matrix. We have over 100 million shillings that will be shared amongst the top 7 clubs and regional winners. We'll have top 5 clubs, and then the best women and the best youth clubs. And all the clubs that will make it to the show, again, will have a fully paid study tour in Nairobi. So all this, I think, happened last year. So we're looking at what is different. We have more and bigger prizes. We have changed the first and second and special category prizes to 30 million, 20 million, and 8 million respectively. I think last year this was 25, 15, and 7.5. So that has been increased. We have also introduced consolation prizes for the finalists who don't make it to the top 7, so that they go away with something for having made it into the competition. We will also have more winners from the weekly regional draws. As you know, we take this up country and we have regional draws where we involve the clubs that are outside Kampala. And so we've introduced more prizes for these clubs that are up country. We will also have audience involvement from the start of the show. I think last time we had the audience voting at the end, but now we're going to have them vote for their favorite club right from the start of the show, so that we can have the audience more involved in the selection of the winners. And we will also have prizes for the audience. We'll be engaging the audience, and we'll be giving them some prizes in form of raffles and draws, just to keep them engaged in the show. Also, our form has been simplified. I think this had been missed out. Last year, we got some feedback from the applicants that they would like to see a more simple form, so we have simplified this to make it easier for the applicants. And we have also introduced some more challenging and engaging tasks, and then the prizes I had already mentioned. Okay, so that's it. We are happy to see you here today, and we hope that we will have more applicants and the challenge will be as good as it was, or even better than it was last year. Thank you.
We'll have an opportunity to ask questions at the end. At this point in time, I'd just like to invite our partners to make their remarks. So we'll start off with Adam Sengova. He's the Associate Director, Risk Assurance at PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Thank you very much, Shana. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's with great pleasure and on behalf of BWC that we've seen it through to the second season of Battle for Cash. One of the key elements at PWC in terms of our values is that we care, and we care about making a difference. I'm sure that for most of you that have seen those videos, it kind of like got emotional at some point. And we're really privileged to be part of this. And I would like to thank our partners, Dfcu and NTV, for this initiative. As again, the leading professional services firm in the country, we found it very important to be able to support Dfcu and NTV in the evaluation process and assessment process for the different investment ideas that are being presented by the clubs. And we'll also provide insights in as regards providing free advisory services after this entire competition. We look forward to this competition, and we pledge our support and guidance all through. And I would like again to thank our partners, DFC and NTV, for this initiative, and call upon all Ugandans to be able to participate in this competition, because as you've seen from the people that participated in season 1, they've actually attested to this as having changed their lives, having made a difference in their lives. But I think the bigger picture is it opened the doors for networking, and in as regards showcasing the different business opportunities they were running with. I'd like to thank you all and our partners again, and I look forward to this season 2. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adam. Adam was one of our judges in season 1, and we are pleased to say that we're going to have him as a judge in season 2. Thank you so much, Adam. I'd like to invite the Managing Director, NTV Uganda, who are also our partners, to make his remarks. Johnson Omolo.
Thank you, Rukhsana. The executive team from DFCU Bank, members of the Fourth Estate present, ladies and gentlemen, in your respective capacities, we as NTV are proud to be associated with DFCU Bank once again and PWC for the Battle for Cash Season 2. As you may be aware, financial resources are scarce in Africa, and investment clubs offer individuals with ability to pull financial resources together through an investment club a chance to liberate their future financially through forming investment clubs. We are grateful to DFCU Bank for taking the lead role as a financial institution to champion this financial literacy campaign. Without DFCU, I don't think the people of Uganda would have had any chance to demonstrate their ability to enter into business for a purpose. DFCU Bank, thank you for this great initiative. We are confident and optimistic that season 2 will be very exciting, memorable, and to all those out there who are members of an investment club, please join Dfcu Bank and support Dfcu in this noble cause. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Johnson. And last, certainly not least, I'd like to invite our Executive Director and Chief Commercial Officer, William Sekabembe, to make his remarks.
Okay. Thank you, Roxana. The Managing Director, NTV, Associate Director, PwC, members of the Fourth Estate here present, senior colleagues from DFCU. Good morning. I think it's in order that I start by asking my colleagues to stand up, since this is a press launch. To be good that you get to see the executive members behind this successful product, Investment Club. So please, Dennis Chibukamsoke, Head of Personal Business Banking. And then we have Joseph Kasaija, who's one of the judges, very senior managers. Then Martha, who's in charge of bank assurance, which product we've also incorporated in the Investment Clubs. And then, of course, Miranda, who's the product manager for this product, it's already been introduced. And Vicky, she's in charge of the Women in Business product. They're all here for a reason, because all their respective products are linked to the Investment Club. 1 year ago, we partnered with NTV and PwC to drive savings and investment culture in Uganda. Looking back, it's been a huge success. And personally, I am proud that we partnered, but most importantly, we achieved our objective. Sitting here and looking at some of the testimonies that were presented this morning, I cannot be more proud than listening to some of the women saying that DFCU made a difference. We are proud of DFCU. Making money without money. I think those were very, very strong statements. Before I continue, I also want to recognize our ambassador, Mr. Mehdi Sereko. I've seen you somewhere. Please, please stand up. You've promoted our brand quite a bit. Welcome. Other media houses, he's the ambassador, so nothing personal, please. DFCU Bank is committed to drive financial inclusion. And part of our agenda is to break into the unbanked population. So as we partner with some of the partners this morning, our agenda still remains: how do we reach out to the unbanked? How do we drive financial services to the unbanked? If you look at the statistics most recently, you'll notice that Uganda still lags behind in terms of financial penetration, financial services penetration. Only 5% of the population saves with NSSF. If you look at our ratio of savings to the gross domestic product, it's just about 23%. If you look at the savings out of the incomes compared to the region, Uganda has a very small percentage of 11%. So that still sets a very, very huge challenge to us as financial people engaged in financial services. Only 8.3% of the population is banked. That's not a good position to be at. So the Battle for Cash initiative or campaign for us underpins our commitment as DFCU to drive the savings agenda in Uganda. And we'll continue to take that lead in terms of promoting financial inclusion. I'd like to thank our partners this morning. Again, and dearly thank you, Price Waterhouse and NTV, for driving this campaign with us. Season 1 was very, very successful. As alluded to by my colleague, Roxana, we managed to open over 6,000 investment clubs. As I speak, we have a total of 15,000 active investment clubs. If you look at the average number of individuals in the investment clubs, which ranges between 8 and 10, that means we have about 60,000 plus individuals who are saving, which is a good step towards breaking this jinx of not savings. A country cannot grow without promoting savings. It's out of the savings that we can invest. So as DFCU, we commit to continue running this for over the next 3 to 5 years. And our objective is to ensure that we drive the penetration beyond 25%. And of course, in that also, we believe that we can grow as DFCU And we are glad to say that with our new positioning as the second largest bank in Uganda, we are committed to continue taking the lead. You notice that in the new budget, there have been some new taxes that have been introduced. We're still engaging because we believe that to promote financial inclusion, we need to ensure that we don't drive a lot of charges in that direction. The digital transformation journey, where most of the banks now are headed, has been an enabler for driving more financial inclusion. If you looked at the assessment of the financial sector last year, you noticed that the number of accounts grew to 9 million, from about 6 to 9, and that was a big growth. Now that was driven by the digital transformation, mobile money, the wallet, and the virtual accounts that the banks are opening. So we believe we can work together with government. We believe we can work with other partners to promote the financial inclusion. Second season, very exciting. Personally, I'm looking forward to getting more winners, but also the winners for season 1, we want to see that they promote what they committed to do, mentor other people, but also we see them grow, because that was also part of our objective. PwC, NTV, thank you very much, and we look forward to another successful season 2. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, William. The official start of the campaign is tomorrow. So effective tomorrow, investment clubs will be able to either download the form or go into our branches and actually be able to apply. And the actual TV show starts in September. So the question might be, what happens between now and September? You notice we talked about regional draws. Now, when we go to the regions, which is northern Uganda, central, eastern, and west, what we do is spend a lot of time with the individual clubs, and we carry out financial literacy workshops. Because for us, this is not just about getting into a competition to win money. This is actually about learning how you can save. It's about learning how they can run their membership more effectively. It's about learning how they can actually invest. So we spent the first 2 months canvassing the entire country, meeting existing clubs and also meeting customers that are not necessarily in clubs, and getting more people to actually appreciate why they need to save and open up investment clubs. So that is what we're going to be doing over the next 2 months before the actual TV show. At this point in time, I'd like to thank our partners for the remarks. I'm sure you have more questions, so we'd like to take a couple of questions before we can ask our partners to have a photograph taken, and then we can call it a wrap. There's a mic going around. Kindly just let us know your name, which media house you're from, and the question.
Yes, my name is Ian Katsime from the Independent Magazine. I have 2 questions. How much money have you sunk in this promotion for season 2? And do you make gender considerations when you're selecting these investment clubs as they progress, or is it strictly merit-based?
Okay, do we want to take, I think we'll take like 3 questions at a go. Those are 2 questions, and then we'll take more questions. So the first question is, how much money have we actually sunk into the entire campaign? I think that question will go to Mr. Sekabembe.
My name is Mwevia Fred, Yoga Man Online. Just wondering if you've also tried to look into the university clubs and some of the students that have formed their teams, working on certain projects, and if they can be considered for this campaign. Just some clarity on that.
Okay, so have we put into consideration university clubs? Those are 3 questions. Can we take the answers to those questions before I take more questions, please? With your permission? Okay, fantastic. Over to you, William.
Okay, the question regarding how much we've sunk into this campaign. I think beyond the money, there's certain aspects that you might not be able to quantify. You've seen what we've sunk in terms of the prizes, over 100 million, but beyond that, there's more to it. So if you look at our partners, they cover this fully. If you look at the mentoring coming out of PwC and the judging and the trips and everything, so you could put the entire campaign at about 600 million shillings, plus minus. But there's more to it. So we don't really want to look at it from a monetary point of view, but there's more to it. We just need to stick to the objective of the campaign. Then the second question was about the gender consideration. Yes, we're very keen on promoting the women. And one of our anchor products is women in business. We want to develop, we want to grow the women, because we believe when you grow the women, you grow the nation. So we have special packages for our women. But specifically for this campaign, we have a special prize for an all-women club. If they're only women, we have a special prize for them. Then for the youth, I'll probably add the same question. Yes, we have also a special consideration for the youth. We'll also have a special prize for the youth, including the university students. Yes.
And before we answer the third question, just to build on the gender and the youth issue, the Sorority Women Who Emerged winners are actually an all-women club, and the youth club, they called this Investment Club Surveyors. We didn't have their clip, but they're actually university students who, the one thing that brings them together is the fact that they actually they're doing the surveying course at the university. So yes, we do put that into consideration. And then there was okay, so I think the questions were done. Any other questions? Remember to just tell us your name, the media house, and your question.
My name is Matan, and I work with Urban TV. My question is, have you been able to assess how this innovation of Battle for Cash and investment clubs is growing the saving culture among Ugandans? If so, by which margin? Maybe monthly or annually? Or
Okay, we'll take another question before we respond to that. Any other question? Adam or Johnson, do you want to take that question?
Thank you for the question. I was just discussing with the partners and we're just reflecting on some of the things we saw out of season 1. One thing that was clearly evident, like William said, was the growth in investment club accounts, whereby you see more people being interested in coming to the bank, asking about what avenues are there for saving, what kind of support they can get from a financial literacy perspective in coming up with the support in terms of coming up with the different business proposals for the investment groups. I'm sure I've been also interacting with our partners at NTV, and Johnson will be able to attest to this, that the public has asked for more in as regards when it's season 2 starting, yeah, because they're really, really interested in picking tips in how to manage their small businesses, in how to form, in how to govern, in how to manage their finances, in how to set their strategies for probably the 6 months, 1 year and all. So the impact the overall campaign has had to the public at large can already be seen from the interest that we've received from the public in as regards just taking this forward, and already the traffic we've seen coming through the bank in as regards inquiries on how to join the investment project and how different people can save and how they can become customers of DFCU Bank. Thank you.
Okay, just to add on to what partner said, you see, the key objective is to drive awareness. So we are quite happy with the awareness that the Battle for Cash has driven over the last 1 year. If you look at our social media page, you'll notice that there's a lot of interest, especially from the youth and different categories. But to give you the numbers specifically, during the first episode, the first season, we had over 6,000 investment clubs open. But also, our investment club product is the fastest growing in terms of our product portfolio, in terms of balances, which means that the response is coming through as expected. It's still not where we want it to be from a macro level, but at least these are steps towards achieving what we want to achieve as an economy. We have 15,000 investment clubs.
Thank you so much, William. And I see so many potential investment clubs in this room right now. Eh? How many of us are part of clubs in this room? Okay, the hands that are not DFCU hands. So Miranda, you see we have so many clubs to open here. Eh? Hopefully you guys will actually catch on as well. It's amazing stuff that's happening with the clubs. If there are no further questions, I'd just like to request our partners to just step to the front of the table so we can have a photo taken, after which we will officially close the event and invite you to join us for breakfast.